The Eagles are soaring up the standings. Winners of 4 straight games play the Cats, who haven't won in 3. It's a late season clash with finals implications right here at Softball South Australia in the Premier League on beautiful Ghana land. My name's Eric Ballner. I am joined by Pete Williams and Kylie Weatherston. Pete, Kylie, this should be an intriguing one as it stands right now. Walkerville in second, West Torrens at fourth, but both teams seem to be trending in opposite directions, I suppose.
Yeah, always a great game between West Torrens and Walkerville over the years. I'm sure this is going to be another great clash.
Yeah, looking forward to it. As you said, Walkerville will be hunting that win. It's been a little while since they've had it, so they'll be chasing it hard, but West Torrens still looking to climb that ladder.
Now, I guess, maybe on Saturday we were sitting here saying, wow, this could be a heavyweight matchup. Taylor Coddle versus Steph Drzezinski in the circle, probably the two highest profile pitchers. Steph Drzezinski not in the lineup tonight. I'm sure we'll see here when it all matters the most. Talia Sutton will be in the circle, and she has performed pretty well this year. 2.38 ERA, has pitched the lion's share of the innings, especially before Christmas. What do you like about Talia Sutton for West Torrens, Kylie?
Oh, I love the fact that she never gives up. She keeps ploughing away. She's a great work ethic. She's a good kid, and she always gives 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. She's come a long way, and she's been developing very nicely with the West Torrens club, and you've just seen her extension of her pitching over the last couple of years. She's definitely got a well and truly soared future coming up.
Well, if West Torrens are going to make it 5 in a row, they're going to have to find a way to score some runs. And I preface that because the starting pitcher for the Walkerville Cats is Taylor Coddle. She's the strikeout record holder at Boise State. She's come to Australia and, well, she's had 189 strikeouts in 103 1/3 innings. Her ERA, exactly 1 earned run per game. She has been one of the big reasons Walkerville have turned their fortunes around from missing the finals to now in the finals and pushing for a top 2 spot.
Yeah, 189 strikes. That is absolutely amazing. Fantastic effort. And hey, I'm sure she'll rack up a couple more before the season's out. So maybe she'll get to that 200.
Kylie, you've won a couple Cath Coral medals. You've pitched in this circle before. What is it about the pitcher Taylor Coddle that you like, or maybe actually let's phrase it in a different way? What are you jealous of in Taylor Coddle's game?
Oh, her control, and the way she approaches it. She's cool, calm, collected. You never think anything's going to get to her, and she just has great control of her pitches. She's always in command. I think that's, yes, definitely jealous of that. Absolutely.
This West Torrens lineup is heating up and at the right time. This is how they'll run in order. It'll be Maddie Scott, Amber Hood, Lana Kaesler, and Emma Burridge. All 3 of those players above 300. Lana Kaesler hitting 467. Sophie Hoyle batting 5 at 244. And then the bottom of the lineup, they're trying to find a spark. You can imagine the coaches, Jackie Beal, Steph Drzezinski, they're on the bench in this game. You think they probably factor into the lineup in the finals, but players fighting for final spots in the lineup right now when you look at Benedictson, Holt, Sutton, and Sutton. They haven't locked in a final spot, West Torrens, I should say that too, but there's still some lineup configurations to play with.
Yeah, it's not over yet. There's obviously opportunities for players to put their best foot forward. There's still a few games. Anything can happen in those few games, and, we don't wish it on anyone, but it's a horrible time to get injured, but there is a chance that could happen in any game, so everyone's got to be ready to go when that chance comes, and putting their best foot forward on the diamond to be the one that's called up when they're needed. 1
year ago, this Walkerville Cats defense was, near the bottom in the statistical rankings around the league. They had to get in track meets. They scored a lot of runs. But this year, the fortunes have reversed. They lead the competition with a .960 fielding percentage. They have been excellent, and they've got some experienced players around the infield. On the left side, you have a college player and Ellie Smith. You have the renowned Chelsea Robinson at short. Sophie King, how about the return to the high standard that we've seen from King after a year where she was in and out of the lineup because of work? And then Mason over at first. The catcher in this last half of the season has been Bailey Lukes. What do you like about this defense from Walkerville?
Well, first of all, I'll just correct you there. It's Bailey Lux. Anthony got that wrong about 10 times before he got it right, and he will be listening to this going, got him. But, Bailey Lux on behind the plate. But look, they're phenomenal, and as you said, the likes of Sophie King, who's having a cracking season with the bat and in the field, I reckon there's about 4 of this starting team out there who's probably still fielding 1,000, which at this time of the season is incredible. But they have just got so much depth within their team, and that they've got talent that when 2 or 3 hit, they have a good game.
Walkerville enter the game with a 12-win, 7-loss, 2-draw record. They currently sit in second place with just 3 games to go, including this one. They have punched their ticket for the finals. West Torrens trying to punch their ticket. They can do it as early as Saturday as Maddie Scott takes the first pitch. West Torrens entered the game with a record of 10 wins, 9 losses, and 1 draw. They've won their last 4 games. They're unbeaten in 5, and this comes off the back of losing 4 games in a row right before Christmas, so they've turned their season around. This is the 2-time defending champion West Torrens, and they are looking for something that just doesn't really happen that often, winning 3 in a row.
No, but you remember last year, they had a bit of a slower start last year, and they weren't batting early, and everyone said if they get hit and they get to the finals, they're a dangerous team, and they prove what they can do if they get in there. And any one of that top 4 right now could be the team that could win the premiership at the end.
This is Maddie Scott's first season back from playing NCAA Division I college in the United States. She played for Eastern Kentucky, and she has come back to Australia. A nice little player. She can kind of do it all, Maddie Scott.
Absolutely, having a go here. She's been trying to slap the ball, to use her pace to get to first base, but she can also hit a long ball too.
She's got some power, she's got some speed, and she's got some smarts. Good battle early on. She's been fouling off a couple pitches from the strikeout queen. And there is strikeout number 1 of the night for Taylor Coddle. You might hear that word strikeout a lot from her.
Yeah, that's 190. Is 200 on the cards tonight. We know West Torrens are generally a team that likes to swing and go after the ball. They're quite an aggressive team in the box. They're not someone who sits and waits. It could be that if she gets the better of them tonight, we could see the big 200 hit up.
190 strikeouts is a crazy number. I think she'll get to 200 this year.
Oh, definitely.
I'm sure she's disappointed, though. She was under 1 with ERA a few weeks back, so
well,
it's blown out.
She allowed 2 runs in her last outing for West Torrens, which is crazy to say. That's one of her worst of the year in a 2-2 game versus Glenelg. An import, and Price hit one over the fence against her.
I'd imagine if she puts one somewhere near the slot and you connect, it's going a long way.
She can throw hard, and she has given up 3 home runs this year. It's not that many home runs, but to your point, when you have pace and someone has high bat speed, that's something you have to be wary of as a pitcher, Kylie.
Absolutely. All they need to do is connect.
Yep.
You're providing the pace for them. All they need is connect and time, and yeah, it goes.
Amber Hood, the batter right now. She gets a bit of pace on this. Could it drop in the right field? That one goes foul. That was Casey Taylor in right field.
It's actually interesting you're talking about with the pitching and the speed on. I've heard of a lot of the players here when they've come up against a more junior pitcher who doesn't have, 5 or 10 Ks slower. The opposition seem to struggle big time against them. They can't get that timing right. They don't get the position in the box right, and all of a sudden it's a lot harder to get the ball on bat. Well, you'd think that these big hitters are just going to go whack.
I think it's the level of pitching that we've seen in the competition has risen to that pace. So it's more common now to face the quicker pitches than the slower ones.
Amber Hood on this season, 308 average. Well, the problem with facing someone like Taylor Coddle is she's not a one-trick pony. She doesn't just have a heavy-paced ball she can throw at you. She can mix things up, move it around the zone, and she can outthink you.
Absolutely. She's already thrown a change up to Amber here, and she's now, that last pitch was a rise. And another off-pace pitch.
Was just trying to carve one in on the strike zone. She liked that pitch, I think, Taylor. Just missed it.
I love off-pace pitching. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Anywhere near the strike zone, but
yeah, I've heard batters say that with Taylor, she's got a very mean fastball, but she's also got that change ball. Yeah. She's also got in, out, up and down. So it makes it very hard to bat to her.
Well, strikeout number 2 for Taylor Coddle. To West Torrens' defense, they have taken her deep in counts and fouled some away, but Coddle still with the kill pitch.
Yeah, absolutely. Good control there from Taylor. That's what I mean. She stays cool and calm in the situation. Has twice come out on top.
Lana Kaesler having a heck of a season, hitting .467 to lead West Torrens, who hit .281 as a team. That's second in the competition. She's got 8 extra base hits, that's the team lead. 12 walks, that's the team lead. 11 RBIs, that's the team lead. If she wasn't an emotional leader as well, she just leads there pretty much in every department, I suppose.
Been around a long time, knows what she's doing, and to see her still on top of her game is fantastic.
Recently married, Lana Kaesler. Kaesler's put together a heck of a resume when this thing is all said and done in her softball career, from being a national champion to a multi-time premiership player to winning major awards in this competition.
Great leader on the diamond and also a very humble person off it. She doesn't brag about her awards, she's all about the team.
Well, 2 strikes, trying to strike out the side. Taylor Coddle. Why not? 1, 2, 3. Bring him up, sit him down. Taylor Coddle with a lazy 3 strikeouts to start this game versus a dangerous West Torrens side.
Really good start there from Taylor. Took control of the innings. 3 up, 3 down. That's a great start. West Torrens now, I'm sure they've got a bit more intel on what she's throwing, and Lana and Amber and that will be giving that information to the rest of the team, so hopefully when they come out next time they can get some bat on ball.
Well, we'll flip the lineup over to Walkerville. Sophie King, Bailey Lux, Ellie Smith, Chelsea Robinson. All of a sudden, a very dangerous top 4 for Walkerville. Georgia Mason having a really nice season. She's hitting .280 in the 5 spot and leads the team in RBIs at 12. Haley Mayer, Sophie Roberts, Steph Gall, and Casey Taylor, the 15-year-old rookie, round out the lineup. Kaesler and Scott on the left side of the diamond. Emma Burridge at second. Sophie Hoyle at first. The catcher is Amber Hood. Isabella Benedictson in left field. Caitlin Holt at center. And Sienna Sutton, recently named to the under-15 national squad, playing in right field. In the circle tonight, though, is Talia Sutton. She's pitched 67 innings on the season, a .283 ERA. She has given up 52 walks. She's a very young pitcher. You know, she's still in high school, but that's probably the element of her game that she's probably trying to work on, is minimizing the free bases.
Obviously, she doesn't want to be putting the ball over the middle too much when she's playing things, so she is trying to hit good corners, and sometimes it doesn't quite go right.
On the screen is Steph Trzynski, leaned back and looking pretty relaxed on the screen, but obviously analyzing the game. Something going on here.
Hell of a person to have on the bench, though, to be able to feed a young pitcher like this in the middle. So, as I said, you know, she's young, she's learning the corners and that at the moment, but when you've got someone on the bench helping her in that mode of Steph Trzynski, you know you're going to have a future. It's
certainly no guarantee, but I do hope we get to see a Trzynski and Coddle showdown, perhaps in the finals. Walkerville have clinched their spot in the finals. They'll come up to bat here, a team that has allowed just 34 runs. It's the best in the competition, and that is the first tiebreaker when it comes to standings. 26 points right now. They need to win this game if they want to keep pace with Port Adelaide, who have a 4-point edge with 3 games to play. It becomes very difficult to catch them and finish as minor premiers. They're also watching Seacombe, who have 24 points entering the night. They're playing on the backfield right now. If Seacombe win and Walkerville lose tonight, they'll be equal. And finishing top 2 means double chance game. Sophie King splits the gap in the outfield, and King is going to round it to second. And Sophie King, who's hitting .486 on the year, that's good for 3rd in the competition, continues her revival season. with a double to start things off for Walkerville.
Yeah, nice clean hit of the ball there. She watched a couple, got the pace right, and then she just really laid into that beautifully. Just sort of centre rightish, and then it just died when it hit the ground. Unfortunately, didn't have any legs on it. Otherwise, she might have got another base.
Well, Bailey Lux will come up to the plate, and she hasn't been on this team for long, only 6 games played, but she's 4 for 11, 2 extra base hits, and 4 walks. A player that was instrumental on a pretty good Oklahoma City University team. Any guesses what the Oklahoma City University team record was last year? They played 50 games. How many games did they win?
49. I reckon they lost 1 by a run.
48. You were close.
I was going to say 47, so there you go.
Oh, we'll split the middle.
Yeah, we did well.
Too many games. Played some softball in France, also with Ellie Smith, who will follow. It's a good 1-2-3 punch now of some import players Walkerville have in terms of Bailey Lux, Ellie Smith, and of course Taylor Coddle. One thing they haven't done, though, is they haven't really found a way to hit versus the top 4 teams in the competition.
Yeah, what's interesting, a couple of these players, they've obviously built their depth as the season's gone on, but a couple of these players they actually weren't bringing for the Premier League. They were bringing over to look into them playing in their B grade and to help out in their A grade where needed, but they've batted and played well enough to cement spots in their Premier League team, which has made it difficult for anyone else that was in there. And it's also made it very difficult for Bindi. She's got so many options with her fielding lineup when it comes to positional of the players. She's Sophie Robertson, you know. She could be out there in the diamond. She could be behind. She could be up at third. You've got King, who could be second short. You've got Chelsea, can be short, catch. So many options for her.
A stacked pitching lineup and a stacked coaching lineup, too. And an old question for you here, Kylie Weatherston. No outs, runners on first and second. What's the play?
Absolutely. I'd be very surprised if a bunt's not put down right now. Linda would be looking and saying this is the time to put that bunt down and get those runners around in better scoring position.
But going swinging, I mean, this I love that analytical look at it. However, if you have the number 3 batter in your lineup and somebody that's hitting .452 in her 13 games so far, an NCAA player, I get the numbers perhaps say you lay down the bunt, but sometimes do you need that lineup feel to let someone like Ellie Smith swing?
If Linda was right here, she would still say, we're putting the bunt down. I can guarantee you that. It doesn't matter who's in the box. Their job is to put the ball on the ground and get those runners around. Because right here now, we're going to have a situation
where it's going to be a pop to center field. Runner is going to try to tag, and you're right, because now there's 1 out and there's a force out on base, and that would be one in the books for Linda Martin.
Absolutely, because right now we've got bat runners back on 1 and 2, so where they could have been at 3 and 2 with Chelsea up to bat right now, so it's now limited their ability to score 2 runs instead of maybe just the 1 if
Linda
Chelsea
Martin
get hit.
Can play and can coach.
Oh, the best. That's why Anthony calls her the GOAT.
The Shield, that's why this competition's trophy is named after her.
Absolutely, and I've such a pleasure to play with her and be coached by her, and I know how she plays, and that she should have put the bunt down then.
The other thing with that was we're playing into a bit of a breeze out there tonight, coming back towards the home plate, although Ellie can hit a very long ball.
Chelsea Robinson up the middle. That should cash in a run. The throw will come in from center. It won't be at home. Play at third. Runner is safe. Standing up at second is Chelsea Robinson, and it's a 1-0 lead for the Cats.
Cracking hit there. Absolutely smashed it. We go back hindsight, if it had been that bunt, you probably would have got 2 over the plate there with the plate at home. So they've only scored 1, but that's still got runners in 2 and 3, but a lovely piece of the ball there.
Good base running by, is it Lexi?
Yeah.
Good, great. She's got to third, which most people probably would have stopped at second, but she kept going.
She was never stopping.
No.
On the replay there, you just sort of caught her out the corner. She was always running to 3.
Yeah, good run.
She's aggressive. Also, you got Chelsea running behind you, so...
You want to talk about differences from a Cats team that was sort of near the bottom of the competition last year and this year. Well, of course, you can look at Taylor Coddle, and that's certainly a huge factor, and that's probably the signing of the season in the competition. But Sophie King last year missed about half the season because her work as a paramedic kept her out of the lineup, and Chelsea Robinson became a mum. So that kept her out of the lineup, and Chelsea Robinson has been one of the best in the country for a while. You add King, you add Robinson, and then you add dominant pitching, and Walkerville's right back to where they traditionally have been.
And on top of that, they've had the fringe players that have been playing there, they've had seasons to dream of. Like Erin Stone's start to her year was phenomenal. Obviously, we don't see her here tonight, but she had a cracking start to the season. Sophie King's got back to her best. So
how about this woman, Georgia Mason, hitting .280 this year, and she's played 21 games. Every game this season, the only player in this lineup that has played in each one of their games.
Yeah, she's come into the Premier League, I reckon 2 years ago it might have been now, and when they brought her in, they were mentioning how she's a big bomb hitter, she can hit the ball hard, but she's developed a defensive game as well, and has made a really good first base for them this year.
A lot of trust to put her at first base. She's also cashed in more runs than any player in this lineup. 12. Now, she does have the honor of batting 5 behind King, Lux, Smith, and Robinson, but there's a lot of trust that gets put in a young player to be the one that has to drive them in.
And she has stood up to the challenge. You know, first base and the Walkerville team is a prestigious position, and I think she's done very well for herself, and I hope to see her keep going in the future. And I don't know where she's going to go. Look at the height that she has. So first base is a good choice for her, but she also catches.
Amber Hood trying to frame it up. And a good pitch from Talia Sutton gets a big strikeout. Talia Sutton this year has been a bend but don't break pitcher. She will allow base runners, but she has a couple nice out pitches and has been able to navigate her way for the most part without really blowing up, and the ERA below 3 really commends that.
Absolutely. She's a young kid pitching in the Premier League. To have an ERA below 3, she's got a very good defensive team behind her, so if they do get bat and ball and it stays in the infield, generally speaking, she's going to get the backup. You talk about players that have had a good year. Hayley Mayer's back into this season has been quite phenomenal. She's been hitting the ball at that in the games that I've seen quite nicely. There's a couple of games she's been close to player of the match in, and you know, she's doing her job out of centre field. She's chasing balls, getting some good catches, so he's another player who has had a season to dream of.
Athleticism from the left, it works. Sutton goes upstairs, and with 2 runners in scoring position, she's got Walkerville down to their final strike.
Yeah, Sophie King's gone out to obviously run for Lux at third, so she's looking to try to cross the plate twice in the first innings.
Popped up in foul territory. Kaesler with a read on it. She makes the play. Bend but don't break. Talia Sutton and the West Torrens Eagles minimize the damage. Walkerville have 3 hits in the inning, but they only score 1. They stay in touch, and that is what the scoreline is after the first inning.
That's where, like, Talia has the ability she can throw the ball. She's got a field like this that she has behind her, gives her a lot more confidence to be able to throw the ball. You've got a great catch there from Lana. You know, the fence is right there. It's a good job.
Yeah, that's the thing with her. You can get down, but you also know that you always got that fuel back in you.
Well, we talked about Linda Martin earlier. It is her birthday today, so happy birthday to Linda Martin. There she is holding the shield that is named after her. A prolific figure in the Australian softball community. Kylie, you know her pretty well.
Very well, yes, and the South Australian community. Happy birthday, Linda. I hope you had a great day. And I remember Anthony calling her and letting her know that the committee had decided to name the shield after her, and she was that taken back by it all. But I think it's very well deserved, and as Rosa said, very lucky to be playing for her and against her. As I said, she's probably the one batter they always struggled with. She's just an amazing player, and you're so lucky to know her.
How many times would her influence, either as a player or coach, be on that shield?
Oh, plenty. Like I've won 4 premierships. She was the coach for all 4, but I know there'd be a lot more on there as a result of Linda. Absolutely.
I didn't know she was that old walking around here. She looks pretty fit still. I mean, maybe Butch Sims should put a call in for the over 35s.
I don't think the knee might last the week.
Well, Taylor Coddle back in the circle for Walkerville. The import out of Boise State struck out the side in her first time up. She's now sitting at 192 strikeouts for this season. A commanding lead in the strikeout department. She'll pull a few votes this year, I think, in the CAF Coral Medal.
her first half of the season, pre-Christmas, I mean, her backend's been okay as well, but her first half pre-Christmas, she was just lights out. Like, everyone struggled. Every game you're calling was like another 10 hit strikeouts for her. But I don't know whether she had a little injury, I think, through the 23s, and whether she's taken a bit to come back. I've heard there's a couple of pitchers who have struggled out on the back diamond lately, and a couple of the games on the back diamond.
Well, Emma Burridge cranks one, but it goes opposite field and right to the glove of Casey Taylor.
A couple of the games they've had on the back diamond, she hasn't had as many strikeouts, and it's to do with their landing position in the when they're coming off the mat. So whether that's playing psychologically in her head out on the back diamond, I mean, I'd love to play against her on diamond too if that's the case. But you know, she's back on the main diamond here tonight. She's straight back at it.
Unfortunately for any opponent in the finals, a spot that Walkerville have punched their ticket to, they'll be playing on this diamond every game. Sophie Hoyle up to bat right now, and a good swing. That bat speed still very much there for Sophie Hoyle.
Yeah, all the West Torrens batters are going for it, aren't they? They're giving it a full cut.
Yeah.
They're not mucking around.
And I think they got to against Walkerville because, as you said, you know, Walkerville's got a relatively good 5 or 6 batters there that can really hit you into danger pretty quickly. And Walkerville's got an infield that's pretty strong as well. So you've got to be swinging hard because you've got to get it through them.
Took a cut, just goes down as a strike, and that will go down too. Chucks a little bit off of it. 2 strikes now on Sophie Hoyle. Score on the backfield update?
Yeah, have you got it there?
No, I haven't got it.
Yeah, I've got it here. Seacom 6 runs to Hills 1, and it's the bottom third.
Almost an hour into that game too.
Yep.
If Seacom win, it is officially official. It is all but official right now. There has to be a lot of things that go wildly wrong for Seacom, but you can never say never in this crazy game. But you can say for sure, if Seacom win this game, they are in the finals. They will be playing for the Linda Martin Shield in that week of March 22nd. They can guarantee themselves at least 2 games if they can sneak their way into the top 2 of the standings. And a strikeout from Taylor Coddle. Make it 4 out of the 5 batters she's faced so far, and she just is attacking that inside edge of the plate.
Is that 193?
193.
Yes, 193.
You wouldn't want to sit on 199 on a Wednesday night and have to wait till Saturday, would you? Put the mocker on now.
Well, she gets Izzy Benedictson swinging. She's played in 7 games this year, Benedictson has, in the top team. Or started them, at least. Another player that if things start to roll her direction in these last few games, she could find herself in a final spot lineup. She goes after a pitch. This popped straight up in the air. Everyone scattering, even though we're under the safety of the Joe Williams pavilions. Oh, my goodness. We're still not safe. We're still flinching under the Joe Williams pavilion.
Yeah, you know, I was up at 5 this morning and I was, you know, not getting tired, but I've just woken up again very quickly.
That ball landed so long after it hit.
Now there's a battle on with the ball being thrown around.
Meanwhile, 2 strikes on Benedictson, and she puts the ball in play again. It's going to go into foul territory. Benedictson playing the part of spraying the ball around.
Well, we've got an opportunity just quickly. I'd like to pass on our thoughts to all the people up in Queensland that are about to have a horrible situation land on their doorstep. Everyone here in the softball community who we know we've got a lot of followers on the live stream from up in Queensland. We hope they're inside watching this tonight. We wish you all the best in the next few days. Bunker down, stay safe, and our thoughts are with you all.
Yeah, well said. Good pitch there from Taylor, another off-pace pitch. It's good to see her using that this game, just trying to put the batters off their game.
Look at the Sporties replay. Well, how do you lay off that? Good on Izzy Benedictson. Benedictson with some pace with it. This is a plucky at bat. She's been on 2 strikes for a while. It's her 3rd foul ball. She's taken a pitch as well.
She's making contact. She just needs to get out a little bit more out in front to get it in the field to play. Interesting to see what pitch Taylor pitches here. Whether she goes off pace again.
What would you go?
Yeah, what are you doing, Coddle?
I'd go with the rise, I reckon. Inside and jammer.
Inside rise is what a 2-time Kath Coral medalist would throw. Potentially a Kath Coral medalist on the mound right now. She'll certainly poll votes. How high she'll go, we'll have to wait until the softball awards night to find out. She'll be in the mix.
I was right on the height, just the outside.
I think she missed it too,
Yeah,
I think, Coddle.
I think so.
You can see by that quick turn, she sort of watches that pitch when she knows she's delivered it to how she wants, and she was quick to turn.
And the catch had to move a long way from where she'd set up, so I don't think it was going where it was meant to.
No.
Happens.
Absolutely, it happens.
Benedictson pops one up again. This one heading right back towards us for a 3rd time.
I've got it. I've got it. It's here.
I think we need danger money
It
here.
is a Benedictson firing squad right now.
I honestly thought that was going to hit the back net, so I didn't even look up. Quite surprised when it bounced right next to my leg.
What an at-bat, though, from Benedictson. She's fouled now 3 away. She's taken some... She's worked her way into a full count.
Trying to hit a good edge here. Maybe even go the off pace again, keep it low.
How frustrating for a pitcher is this?
Well, it makes you think, that's for sure. Yeah.
Ground ball over to 3rd, charging on, and a quick pick, a quick throw, and what an at-bat from Benedictson. She hustles out the infield single after fouling multiple pitches away. It's the first base runner West Torrens have had today.
Yeah, real chunky, chopped down into the dirt there, but it bounced a bit funny. I didn't get a good enough eye on that to see if would it have stayed in. It looks like it was sort of heading towards the foul line. If she'd let it go, it could have probably been another foul. But she fielded it inside, and the runner was just far too quick.
Yeah, it's kind of the one, if you do let it go and it stays fair, then all of a sudden Benedictson's in scoring position. In that situation, you almost just have to back your pitcher and say, all right, let her take first. And
yeah, you come back solid.
Caitlin Holt, together, pretty decent season, hitting .262. Again, no Beal and no Trzynski in this lineup right now. They're on the bench today.
And if we go by what we just saw before from that image, Steph not looking too flustered about rolling out right now. She's got feet up and chill, arms crossed, having a relaxing time.
Now, quite literally the feet up. That chair was leaned back. That's not an expression.
It was a rocking chair at one stage, I'm certain.
She's gone Nan mode.
She'll get her little D-rug in a minute. She'll be fine.
Bunted in the air and a nice pickup from Lux. It's a quick out, and that will end the half inning. Benedictson does get aboard, but again, well, a better approach there from West Torrens. They put a few balls in play.
Interesting approach there with 2 out going for the bunt. Not sure what Terry was thinking there, but it's resulted in an out.
Yeah, just a little pop there, but quite comfortable for Lux, and holds that run up from scoring.
Well, we'll turn the lineup over. It's 7, 8, 9 in the lineup. It's Roberts, Gall, and Casey Taylor. Walkerville have a 1-0 lead. They ambushed the West Torrens pitching staff and Talia Sutton with a double, a single, and a double.
When you were saying it makes the pitcher think a bit when those sort of, you're getting multiple fouls, I did notice in that moment Taylor was taking that little bit longer between pitches. There was a little bit of confusion in the battery as to what to pitch, is it just a point where I've thrown everything I can at her and she keeps fouling them off? What's my next pitch going to be?
Well, obviously, the two have only played 6 games together, so there is a bit of you need to have a good connection with your catcher. So you need to know what their strengths are, and obviously Taylor felt like she needed to pitch a certain pitch, and catcher wasn't giving that one to her, so she wasn't going to throw until she got what she wanted.
Yep.
So, and obviously they'll have a chat about it right now. They'll be talking about what they wanted to throw in that situation again.
And I imagine in that situation, I'm sure Taylor's been in that situation multiple times in her career. She would know what her best go-to is in that situation.
Absolutely, especially what's working, what she's feeling comfortable with, and in that situation, yeah, she would have known exactly what she wanted to throw.
Yep.
Sophie Roberts hitting 267 on the year, 3 extra base hits, and she puts this a mile in the air. What a great hustle from Emma Burridge.
She really got there, actually. She was motoring.
Yeah, the visor went flying.
She had to make a good 25, 30 metre bolt to that, and she's only probably finished up about a foot short of where she needed to be for a potential dive at it. So
Roberts has spent some time with the Stars. She spent some time in Italy. Played in 19 games this year, and again takes another big swing. This one straight up in the air. Amber Hood searching, fighting, and she just sticks her hand out, and you can see the expression from Amber Hood.
Oh, it's over there.
I think you took it down for that one. She's just gone around in circles there and stuck the glove out the last second and got it.
Little bobble.
It's very hard for a catcher.
Did she just lose that completely?
Yeah. And the wind obviously would have taken it a little bit as well. Good reaction.
Well, she made the out. That's 2 straight outs made in foul territory from this West Torrens team. The inning ended in the first with Lana Kaesler ranging in front of the Walkerville dugout. Steph Galt hitting 208 on the year in her 13 games played.
There's been some pretty impressive facial expressions after plays this year I've seen on the live stream, but that there so far takes the crop.
Now we need a top 10.
Oh, there's got to be a
facial
top 10. It would not be that hard to pull together, I'm sure.
Two strikes, Sutton's got on Galt. Just missed the spot.
We're just talking about the pitches, like Taylor knowing what sort of pitches you want here. Talia's in a different situation where she's got a very, very experienced catcher who knows everybody. And Talia would be putting all her faith in Amber and saying, Amber will say, pitch this, and she'd say, yep, let's do it.
Yeah, that's a big thing for Talia in this situation. Yeah. And also what we've seen with the Hills with their junior pitchers, to have someone like Courtney in behind.
Yeah.
That experience, although Courtney doesn't know all these batters, hasn't played against all these batters enough to know their ins and outs. Someone like Amber, she just knows where they don't like it, where they do like it, what they fail to, and, that's a hell of a person to have behind the plate teaching you in the mound.
And she would call a different game for Talia than she would for Steph.
Yep.
Because they both have different strengths.
Yep.
So it's something that a good catcher knows that their pitcher also knows the batters, and that's where Amber's strengths are.
Yep.
Tried to go inside. Amber Hood liked the pitch. You could see her say, good pitch, but Casey Taylor, just a 15-year-old rookie on this team. She's played in 12 games this year.
Maybe that's the other facial expressions we can look to. Facial expressions as a result of umpires' strike zones calls. That'll be gold.
I reckon I'd be in a few of those.
Put a mic on the umpire. I don't think we want to hear what's said in there, mate.
Well, Pete, you did talk earlier about the depth of this Walkerville lineup, and for someone like Casey Taylor to be playing in these meaningful games late in the season, just a 15-year-old who made her A-grade debut this year, it says a lot about what they think about her. Yeah,
I spoke to Coach Bindi out at the Junior Champs. Casey was playing in one of the teams out there all weekend, and they were prepared to give her the night off out there to allow her to just focus on the Junior Champs, and then they needed her due to a couple of unavailabilities. She stepped into the team quite comfortably, and Bindi's got faith just to throw her out on that diamond and give her a crack. So for a young kid, she's definitely shown a lot.
Sophie King, her .486 average is third in the league. And the way it's kind of shaping up right now, it's turned into a 3-horse race for who will win the batting title in terms of batting average this year. And Sophie King very much in the mix, right there with the likes of Marcelino and Golden.
Yeah, she's had a cracking year with a bat. She never generally has a bad year. She sort of sits around that 300, 3-something every year kind of. But this year she's just absolutely pushed up another level. And again, it's probably because, you know...
Well, a shot to the second base side. Burridge had to move back on it. She makes the play. It was almost trouble, but Talia Sutton walks a batter, but again, keeps the West Torrens Eagles right around the mark.
Absolutely, letting her field back her up, which is exactly what she should do.
See the Sporties replay here. The ball took a funny hop. It just died.
Yeah.
It didn't hop up as much as I think Emma Burridge thought it would.
She was prepared, Emma, in case that took a funny bounce there, but it just sort of died and, as you said, just lobbed to her, and she had a bit more time on her hands than I think she thought she was going to have.
Yeah, she chucked that. Well, we've played 2 innings. It is a 1-0 game right now between 2 finals teams. We talk about some of the awards, some teams of the year, everything in there. Well, at the top of the arc on March 23rd at 6 p.m., you can be there to find out who is going to etch their name in softball history. We hope that you can come. Bring some friends, bring some family. They're always a pretty fun night.
I think there's a DJ. There's a DJ this year.
I believe so. I've heard some of the tech work that will be going on that night. If you suffer epilepsy, be aware. But no, I've heard that it's going to be a cracker of a night there. It's going to be a night where there's going to be plenty of awards, as you said, presented, not only for the players, but for the officials as well. Some of those will be getting awards through the night. And it's just a great opportunity to, you know, look back at the season that's been prior to the final and obviously recognise the efforts of not only the A grade, but all the other grades as well.
Well, I know in all the other grades, all the forming the final 4, in B grade, C grade, that is all very, very close. So it's been a really good competition for the whole softball community.
Well, this Saturday should be a great day down at the ballpark. Absolutely. It is the final day for B grade, C grade, D grade. And
juniors.
Some juniors, some final spots on the line, but also some of the last games. If you're not lucky enough to play in the finals, well, might be the last time you're out with your team this year playing in it. So get down there, head to the club rooms after the game.
Absolutely, come and have a drink. Yep,
yeah,
absolutely.
Share some memories of the season or just prepare for the finals and celebrate the end of one season and the start of the silly season, which is finals softball. Well, a pair of Suttons will lead things off here for West Torrens in the top of the 3rd inning. Talia Sutton on the year, primarily being a pitcher. She is 4 for 24, and I think we're not going to get the pair of Suttons because I think it's going to be Jackie Beal going to come in for a hit. I was hoping we'd see Sienna. I had a feeling Sienna Sutton was going to get her first A-grade hit tonight, but that might be hard if you're not going to get in that bat.
Yeah, the Suttons have obviously been a staple piece of the West Torrens development, with obviously Dad Matt leading the way through the under-14s and seeing some great performances for them over the years. And he himself has developed very well in the coaching prowess as well, under some good tutelage. So he's not losing it with what he's got out here, helping him along the way either in the coaching side.
Cool opportunity though for Sienna, who is 13 years old, 14 years old, just turned 14. Was starting the game in right field, being around this environment, playing around this team.
Plenty of experience in that team.
Oh, would have been an interesting matchup as Coddle, though. Oh my goodness.
Well, if you're going to learn.
Yeah. Well, there's throwing you in the fire and then putting you in an inferno, but there's another strikeout from Taylor Coddle. That's number 5 on the day.
The 194.
Yep, lucky there. Jackie was just about to walk up into the box, and then Coach Terry Lamery realised we should probably make this change. Kind of might be helpful. Or we might have seen Sutton coming up after all.
Terry's been in this position many, many times over her career.
Helped West Torrens win the last 2 championships.
I remember when she actually came out to play for West Torrens, and she's been with the club ever since as an outfielder and a batter. came out with Janet, who was a catcher, and loved Adelaide so much she decided to stay. And she's been sassy coach, West Torrens coach, state coach, fast pitch coach. She's done it all. She's been a magic contributor to the South Australian softball community.
South Australia can get you. That comes from experience.
Yeah, we do all right here.
Yeah, it's a good place to be. Happy to call this place home. Jackie Beal. Swung through the first pitch from Coddle, who has allowed just one base runner so far. Entering the day, it was a 1 ERA, bang on the nose. If you're looking at the live stats, it would be just a smidgen below 1 now that she's got those 2 1/3 innings under her belt.
Yeah, she's pitching pretty solidly tonight, and as I said, a team like West Torrens, who are capable of hitting, they're struggling at the moment against her, but I wouldn't put them aside. They're a team that can bring an innings out of nowhere.
Gets the strike called upstairs.
Just love watching her pitch and her way she approaches every pitch. Everything is exactly the same. The control, deep breath, where she walks onto the plate. You would not know she was nervous. She was confident. You would not know. She does the same thing every pitch.
I feel focused just from being 40 feet away from her.
And that's the skill, is to try and have every pitch look the same, so then the batter does not have a clue what's coming.
Strikeout number 6. We go back to the top of the lineup with Maddie Scott. What kind of adjustment can you make as a hitter? Now looking at Coddle for a second time.
So we're up to 195. I'm keeping count of this one. I'd love to see it.
6 strikeouts so far. She's had 8 outs on the day. You talk to Anthony Weatherston about the turnaround of Walkerville, and he'll be quick to tell you that, yeah, I mean, this Walkerville defense has been impressive, and it has been the best in the league. And numbers are numbers. Percentage are percentages. However, they've made a significantly amount of less plays than any other team because the ball isn't in play very often.
That's right.
There was a startling stat that he had sent through earlier today. I think I'll have to get the exact number, but it was almost 200 less, or maybe it was 100. We'll get the exact stat. There was a crazy number of less balls in play. And it makes sense if you strike out 196 batters. It's a Steph Trzynski effect as well with West Torrens, that when she's in the lineup and she's struck out 20 or 32 batters in 21 innings so far, and all of a sudden West Torrens defense numbers are getting up too because there's less pressure on them.
Well, you got to look at it too. Like 195 is a lot for those playing at home. It's the equivalent to 65 3 strikeout innings. That's, nearly 10 full championship games.
Well, she struck out the side again. Her second time today, 7 strikeouts on the evening, 196 on the season. And Taylor Coddle keeps on rolling. And then she just blasts one by Maddie Scott.
Well, Walkerville's also had a lot of games this season that's either got to the 6th or nearly the 7th innings, and it would be that the fact that she's wiping these batters out so quick. Yeah. Whilst they're not getting lots of runs on the dime and getting home, the games are turning over really quickly. And I can't remember a year where I've seen as many 7 innings games in a season. 5's pretty well the norm. To get to 6 or 7, you've got someone doing something good.
On the theme of 7 innings and potential games, there was a game on the backfield that started at 7:30. It is now 8:45 local time. No new innings after 85. Do we have an update from anybody on what's happening back there?
I've got here Seacombe 7, Hills 1 in the bottom of the 4th.
Yeah. And good to see tonight for the Hills. Chloe Zachary and Lara Tanke both playing their 100th Premier League game for the Hills Heat, and Chloe getting herself a hit in that game. So awesome. That'll be something to remember.
Great. Well, the heart of the lineup coming up here for Talia Sutton. We're at the halfway point right now, as you see on screen where that backfield is. It looks significantly more windy back there than it does where we are.
It's a different climate out there.
It's a different world out behind that field. Out of sight, out of mind when we're down here.
Being a golfer myself, I know on golf courses it's windy, so the fact there's a golf course behind it probably gives away. It's just a blowy wind stream out there. It's a tunnel.
Yeah, having golfed on that golf course back there, I've ended up on Diamond 2 a few times, it feels like. Well, Bailey Lux, Ellie Smith, and Chelsea Robinson, a dangerous 2-3-4 part of the lineup. You know that if West Torrens are going to win this game, it's probably going to have to be 2-1 or 3-2. Coddle doesn't really allow a lot of runs, which means this inning's so important for Sutton to find a way to hold.
Bailey, another one who looks remarkably calm all the time, and even just off the diamond, you see she's having a laugh and a joke and just really laid back and quite calm. So never seems to look stressed in the box.
Now 5 for 12 on the season with 4 walks. And that might be 6. That is smashed all the way to the wall. Running after it is Caitlin Holt. Lux will wander to third, standing up with ease. That was Captain Crunched.
I'd love to see the replay of her hitting that ball. She got all of it. I thought it was going over. Oh,
the only thing that stopped that going over was we're into a little bit of a breeze out there. That was hit absolutely solidly.
Wow. That was a very, very good hit. And she ran hard too. Got all the way around to third.
Interesting watching her running there. She really leans forward in her run, and she has such a long stride.
She does. Here she goes rounding second base.
Huge stride.
Yeah.
Now a crack to left field from Ellie Smith. That cashes in a run, and that rattles up against the wall. Ellie Smith goes bang. It's a triple, then a double, and it's a 2-0 lead for Walkerville.
That was nicely hit as well. Just flushed straight out the middle, nice and flat. Kept it out the wind, all the way to the fence, and then just brings Bailey trotting over the plate.
Yeah. Talia just needs to keep cool and calm, collected here. Keep the ball, try and keep the ball on the edges. Nothing in the power zone, especially with Chelsea Robinson up on the plate.
Chelsea Robinson had an RBI double to nudge the scoreline to 1-0 back in the first. She's hitting .333 on the year. She's the leader of this team. Sure, her impact on this team is immeasurable. But that was just her second extra base hit of the season. Single machine. This pops straight up in the air. Bit of confusion it looked like for a second. Maddie Scott will bring that in. And there is a nice quick out and some soft contact from Talia Sutton.
Yeah, good pitch there. She managed to get Chelsea to just fly that ball. And a good call there from Maddie Scott. That wind would have been playing havoc her to catch that ball. She took that fairly easily.
Looked like it just jammed up a little bit. You see her hands going through on the ball. She sort of didn't get them through at the speed she wanted and was a bit jammed up on it. So, nice pitch.
Georgia Mason, 0 for 1. She struck out her first time up to bat. And a swing and a miss. 2 strikes on her.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on here, but that hair looks significantly brighter than I'm used to seeing. I'm not sure if we can get a close-up on that ponytail, but it is almost the same colour as the gold on the West Torrens.
It's glowing.
It is, and the lights are just blinding me off it.
Oh, shot down the line. It is scooped up and tagged out. Runner will advance to third. Bit of a cue shot.
Yeah, well, she was playing cricket. It was a lovely cut shot, but unfortunately she's hit it straight to the fielder, who took a good play there to move in.
But she's done the job. She's got the runner around to third now. Yeah, just got jammed on there, on the hands.
I don't think she actually wanted to hit it at all.
No.
Chasing 3 runs versus Taylor Coddle feels like climbing a mountain. A crucial out right here for Talia Sutton in West Torrens. Started off the inning with a triple, then a double, but has got 2 pieces of soft contact in a row, both with a runner in scoring position to give herself a chance to minimize the damage again.
Oof.
Oh, Mayer, a little Matrix style, gets out of the way.
I don't mind that from Talia. I like that she's pushing the edges there, making the batters think I need to get out the way.
Bit ninja style.
Just missed. 3-0 count.
It's a good edge. I think it was just the height.
Great idea.
Yep.
Well, it is a walk. Walkerville winless in their last 3 games, still second in the ladder, but that position looking tenuous at the moment with Seacombe breathing hot down their tails. Sophie Roberts can make a huge push to get Walkerville back in the win column if she can deliver a base hit here. She goes swinging right away. Runner easily gets to second. Now there is 2 runners in scoring position.
My observations of Sophie this year, she's either been hit or struck out. So, but a hit from Sophie is capable of bringing both those runners home comfortably.
Just inside.
And she's got to be standing in that box confidently. You're 2-0 up. You've got 2 runners in scoring position. Have a crack.
Just meet the ball. That's all she's got to do.
She's got power in the swing.
Absolutely. There you go.
And there's that power. 1 run is in. They're going to make a push for another. There's a good throw in across. It's a little off the line. 2 runs cross the plate. Sophie Roberts delivers. Walkerville double their lead, and they're up by 4.
Well, we said it before. She had a shot that she's capable of bringing both those runs home.
Yep.
That was a cracking hit again, just got it out to the field. The running positively there coming home from Hayley Mayer. The throw just sort of went offline with the wind a bit, dragging it a bit too. So, but good running by Walkerville, aggressive in the box and aggressive with the running.
There's a bit of a hole there between third and shortstop there. Maddie's obviously playing a little bit more up the middle. So it was, I don't think she would have got it if she was playing a bit more square, but a good shot there from Sophie Roberts. Scored the 2 runs.
Well, if you're a Glenelg fan, you are cheering at that. Glenelg need West Torrens to lose. Right now, the equation for West Torrens to make the finals, their magic number is 2, as Steph Gall comes up to the plate. And if you're unfamiliar with what a magic number is, that's okay. We'll explain it to you right now. A magic number is basically a combination of things that need to happen between 2 teams. In this case, Walkerville and West Torrens and Glenelg. West Torrens, their magic number is 2, which means they can get in with any combination of West Torrens wins and Glenelg losses. So, if Glenelg lose 2 games, West Torrens are in the finals. Nothing anyone can do about it. If West Torrens win 2 games, they're in the finals. Nothing Glenelg can do about it. If West Torrens win 1 and Glenelg win 1, well, there's your magic number adding up to 2. Where it gets interesting is West Torrens' next game.
Well, the next game's actually against Hills, but next Wednesday night, back diamond, West Torrens v Glenelg.
There you go.
So will that game have an impact? You'd figure Glenelg need to win all 3. And a diving attempt just side. You'd figure Glenelg need to win all 4 of their last games to move to 24 points, including a win over West Torrens, which means they would need West Torrens to just drop one of the 2. Assuming they lose this game, they would need them to lose this game. Then all they would need to do is Glenelg win out, and West Torrens would need to drop one of their 2 games. They have Hills and Sturt in their other game. So it's still possible. There's still hope there for Glenelg.
Yep, never throw anything away in this season. It's basically all or nothing on the diamond for those teams that are battling for that last spot. The 3 teams that are in there, they're still fighting for the top 2 spot. But, well, I think Port Adelaide's fair enough to say that they've comfortably held the top now. They've had a back end of the season that's been really strong, and their players are starting to come together nicely.
And a strikeout from Talia Sutton ends the inning. Sturt are still mathematically alive, but for them to make the finals, they would need to win out. West Torrens need to lose out, and West Torrens need to allow about 50 more runs during the rest of the year. So it's not official, but it is tough, to say the least. Well, we've played 3 innings. It's now a 4-0 game. There's still 30 minutes to go. There's still lots of time left in this one. And don't forget, if you want to help keep these broadcasts free, donate now at the GoFundMe page. You can scan the QR code. But the question on everyone's mind right now, the non-live stream game on the backfield, is it over?
So we're going to go past our knowing you're winning, so it will be over. Seacom are 7-1 up with 2 out in the bottom of the 5th. They have had...
And batting?
They're batting, so
it's over.
It's going to be over. They'll pull up time in a minute. Hits tonight to the Hills, as I said, Chloe Zachary, Georgia King both picking up a hit. And for Seacom tonight, hits to Bree Lint got 1, Neely Peterson 1, Whitney Shepherd 2, Becky Havas 2, Abby Mossman 1, and Hannah Cameron 2. So 9 hits in total for Seacom tonight. That's enough to get them over the line, and they did leave 6 on base, and unfortunately the Hills making 5 errors, which doesn't help either. But, you know, a developing team again against a team that's playing their heart out for that top 2 spot. So,
well, congratulations to Seacom. It is now official. You are returning to the Premier League finals. I'm sure that feels good in Seacom land right now.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's awesome to hear.
So the live ladder at the moment leaves us with Port Adelaide, 21 game played. They've got 30 points, 3 games to go. Walkerville, well, we'll keep the live ladder as if the results hold. So they would be on 22 games with 28 points. Seacom, 21 games with 26 points. West Torrens, 21 games with 21 points. Sturt have played 22. They've got 17. Glenelg at 20. They've got 16 points. Top 4 feel kind of set. The only team left to clinch a spot would be West Torrens or Glenelg to make the finals. But Seacom, they have a bit of a run. They're going to need to probably, they'd be coming down here and cheering for a West Torrens comeback because they want to find a way to get into that top 2, and their best avenue is to catch Walkerville. Walkerville do have an advantage in the runs allowed department, although it is not much. It's 10 runs. That is gettable. However, they have to get them off Taylor Coddle in those last 3 games, and she allows 1 run a game. Coddle having a nice night. She struck out the side twice today, 7 strikeouts. Amber Hood leading things off. And it's a 3-0 count for Amber Hood, who, unbelievably, Amber's only walked twice this year.
Wow.
She's consistently been near the top of the table in walks. And there's a strike. Coddle comes back, gets 1 on the board.
You were saying also there before that obviously the Seacom's win, that puts them up level on points with Walkerville. If this game continues the way it is, they're obviously going to get a win though. So
yeah, Walkerville would go. Yeah.
But you know, having spoken to a few of the Seacom people, they're pretty confident with their run home. They think they've got a chance to snaffle a couple more wins before the minor rounds are out. They've got that game up the sleeve where they've got 1 more to catch up on Walkerville. So whilst they've got the runs against, they feel they've got the ability to win. Walkerville have got Port Adelaide to come in there, run home as well. So that's going to be a must-win game. It's not a game that you can put your feet up and just cruise through to finals and think, well, we've got the top 2 sorted. They're going to actually have to play that out pretty hard, and they're going to have to put their best out there against Port.
Amber Hood skies 1 over towards second. Play made by Sophie King, 1 down. Yeah, that begs the question too. I mean, how much gamesmanship happened before the finals? If you're Walkerville, do you try to hide Taylor Coddle? Well, knowing that you might have to play Port Adelaide twice in the finals?
The other awkward thing...
I think you just go at them.
The other awkward thing you got at it at the moment, as we know this time of year, the back half of the year seems to be a complete mixed match because teams are still trying to qualify teams in other grades, and as you said, the B grades sit nice and close. So this weekend, who's got what to play for what games and where you're going to play them? So, you know, it's a huge thing to risk playing a player.
Bit of a super Saturday down here at West Beach.
Call it softball's gather round.
Yeah, the lower grades, B, C, and D all finished. The junior grades all finished. Not the finals, but the final game of the regular season. Lana Kaesler up to bat. I think 5 years ago this weekend, we had the most chaotic finish to a Premier League season we've ever seen, but we didn't really know that it was as chaotic as we thought it would be. Of course, the global pandemic hit, and, well, there were no finals to be played, and Sturt moved into first place on the final pitch of the regular season. Now, they didn't know at the time finals weren't going to be played, but that ended up getting them their last premiership.
It did. It's weird. The last week last year of the season, we were still looking. I can't remember. I think it was Sturt and maybe West Torrens. They're on the same wins, same points, same runs against. We had to go to the rule book to work out, well, how do you then split them after that? And that was down to a game on the back diamond, I think, that was going like run for run. So it's never over until the final minor round game is finished.
Well, there's strikeout number 8 from Taylor Coddle. That is 97 on the season.
Just finished the game down on the other diamond, Seacombe 10. Hills 1. I think nearly just hit a 3-run home run.
That'll do it.
Yep.
I did hear some cheers. I was wondering. So that's a way to stamp your way into the finals with a walk-off homer.
That's a big hit out there tonight too. We saw that wind blowing before. Yeah. It's going to be a decent-sized whack.
Yeah, Neely can hit it, can't she?
Oh, definitely.
Now, that's a big confidence booster for a Seacombe team that hasn't really been firing with their bats all season. That has been sort of the Achilles heel. They've pitched great. They've fielded great. Hitting hasn't quite been there. If you're scoring 10 runs as the calendar has turned to March, that would feel pretty good about yourself.
Yeah. And I think they had a high-score game against Sturt on the last
Saturday
as well.
Yep.
So they've I know they have Glenelg this Saturday, which will be another important game for both teams, obviously.
Yeah, I reckon it was first game back this after Christmas break, or it might have even been the last one before the end. My pick for the rest of the year was Seacombe. I think that they have a team that, if they all play at their best out on that diamond and they hit the ball like they're meant to, with Reagan and Whitney through the middle, Nearly in behind, Becky with the leadership up at first that she gives. Reagan can play anywhere in the infield. They've got Brilliant on the bench who can come in DP, she can field in the outfield, she can field in the infield. They have a team with a couple of young kids who have had, again, really good years through those juniors that are senior people that are around them. If they all play the best, they can take it to any of these teams on the day.
Will they get the double chance, or will they have to go and win 3 games versus all 4 of the other top 4 teams in the finals?
Well, Seacombe's a funny team. They're a team that seems to get up when their back's against the wall. Like when you write them off and then all of a sudden they come up with 5 runs out of nowhere. That, you know, they're a team that when their back's against the wall. So maybe they're a team that without the bonus top 2 spot, it might be what they need.
Fouled away. It's now 2 strikes on Emma Burridge. Can Taylor Coddle get her 9th strikeout of the evening?
It's a different game again, like we've seen last year with Liz in Port Adelaide, and you've seen Taylor and Whitney both at national championships. 7 innings games are nothing to these guys. They're confident, they're good, but any chance to give them a little bit of a rest up where they can is going to be handy. So, and we know a fit firing Steph Trzynski 7 innings is nothing to her. So, you know, the finals, if you look at it that way, those 4 or 5 pitchers that are going to feature in those 4 teams, if they're the 4 teams of the finals, the pitching is going to be rock solid firehouse come finals.
Diaz and Shepherd, the platoon for Seacombe. Liz Engler and how much of a workhorse she's been for Port Adelaide. Taylor Coddle at Walkerville, and then, well, even if Glenelg sneak in, whether you go Trzynski and Glenelg's got a couple weapons as well.
Yeah.
And a swing and a miss. That's how the inning will end. It'll go with strikeout number 9 and strikeout number 198, which means the next inning that she comes out could hit 200. Kylie, I don't know if you're cold or you're rubbing your hands because you're excited.
I'm excited.
You're ready for a meal, it looks like.
I'm excited. I think it's a great achievement for any pitcher to pitch that many strikeouts. Just the control and that she has in her game is absolutely fantastic. So I'm excited. I feel bad for West Torrens, but I am excited to see the 200 come up.
Yeah, she has been something to watch, hasn't she, this year in Taylor Coddle. Well, Walkerville, meanwhile, they will head their bats back out again. Talia Sutton still in the circle. Their getaway inning was in the third, where Lux had a triple, Smith had a double, and then Sophie Roberts had a booming RBI double, which brought home 2 runs and expanded the league from 1-0 to 4-0. And that really has been, I guess, the difference so far. Is that 3-run inning has made the biggest difference. Quick breakdown on the strikeouts for Taylor Coddle. Entering the day today, 136 of the strikeouts were swinging. What is mind-blowing to me is the number of strikeouts that she's had looking. She's had 53 strikeouts. Which
and they would all be really good pitches, you know.
Well, as a team, I'm just trying to find some other strikeout numbers here. Like, look at it this way. Whitney Shepherd has had a fantastic season. She's thrown 51 innings. She's had 58 strikeouts on the season. That's total.
Wow.
53 strikeouts looking from Taylor Coddle is almost as many as one of the premier pitchers in the game. And Whitney Shepherd has an ERA of under 1 as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, those two were in the 23 women's up in Queensland earlier, or late last year. Those two were neck and neck the whole way through. Like, they were. If Taylor didn't have that injury, we probably could have seen her pitch a bit more. But Whitney came through with the goods, and she delivered really, really well. And you know, those two pitching in that 23s team with Fidge as a backup was phenomenal.
Ground ball up the middle. It takes a funny bounce off the bag. But a handy hit there.
That was a nice little piece. Just threw the hands at it and got contact.
Aaron Reed had come in for a pinch hit for Casey Taylor. And she's on base. That is the 8th member of the Cats to be on base today.
Yeah, the bats have definitely been working tonight. Some really good hitting of the ball.
Yeah, that's the trick with Walkerville. We know their defence is strong with Taylor in the middle, but when their batting hits, they're a very, very difficult team because you guarantee they're going to score a few runs. Whereas when their bats, you know, they have an off game, they tend to all go off at the same time.
Yeah.
To put in Coddle's season in perspective, the Hills have 47 strikeouts as a team. Port Adelaide have 88 strikeouts as a team. That means that she's got more strikeouts than 2 entire teams combined.
Yeah. That's why I'm excited, because it doesn't happen very often. But to just see a star performance like that, it's amazing.
West Torrens have 79 strikeouts as a team, which means she almost has as many strikeouts as 3 teams combined.
Yeah.
What does this do for someone like Taylor? She's young, you know, she's still fairly young when it comes to softball. Does this then catapult her into even better things in our winter overseas? Do other teams start throwing their go at her to try to get her into their leagues, or is it just something where she'll float back to America? And I mean, she does have a love for home, and we saw her go back in the off-season break where she read a lot of her coaching stuff. Or does she just go home and put her feet up?
It's obviously it's what she wants to do, but I'm sure she's been getting some offers from Europe. You know, Italy, there's a couple of girls going there a lot at the moment, so I'm sure she's getting offers, but obviously it's what she wants to do. It's a big thing to come all the way down to Australia. It's, you know, good 6 months like she has and play here. So, yeah, she may decide that she wants to have a break, and, you know, she may come back next year, which would be awesome. She may, do the Europe thing. It just depends on what she wants to do. She said she's young.
Last one for you on that. I mean, the next closest competitor in terms of strikeouts this year is Emily Price, who has 129 strikeouts. Throw over to second, runner in scoring position. Glenelg as a team have 140. That's second in the competition.
Yeah.
She has 58 more strikeouts than the next closest team combined.
Wow.
Even 129 strikeouts from Emily Price is an
insane.
awesome effort. Absolutely.
Wild stuff.
I remember it was only last year we were talking about like Jade Peterson, how she just got past 100 and everyone was really excited just before finals. Taylor passed 100 in about 7 games.
Exactly.
It's pretty crazy numbers as Walkerville, by the way, starting to look towards their bench. Runner on second is the pinch hitter, but right now Bailey Lux has a single and she has a triple. That is a handy evening for her.
She's had a good night and popped in behind the plate as well, so done very, very well. We haven't mentioned the umpires tonight. We've got Toby Sadler on plate, we've got Nikki Wong up at first, and we've got Dave Borovnik, who just did a some sort of shadow dance move to the left to get out the way of what he thought was a ball being driven at him, and he did it quite well, so well done to Dave.
And it's a walk, so Lux on base for the 3rd time of the evening and 2 runners aboard. Walkerville can really sail away here with their 3-4 coming up in the lineup and just 1 out.
There's the signal.
Definitely not going to be bunting now.
No.
For sure?
No. This is potential to go long if she gets connection.
Yeah, she just needs to time it and get the right pitch.
Whoop.
There you go.
And that is crunched towards center field. A great diving effort from Caitlin Holt, but the ball rattles to right field. 2 runs are going to score. And called safe. Amber Hood tried the late tag. It's now a 6-0 game.
I tell you what, there if you get an option to see the replay of that running, they were about a metre behind. Bailey just took off. She wasn't even thinking the catch, and she ended up getting that far up behind the runner coming round from second to home, and she actually had to back off her speed because she was about to overtake her.
Yeah.
If that ball had been half a second earlier, there potentially could have been 2 tags in one play.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, great effort by Caitlin Holt there to try and catch that ball. Yeah, look at that. She had to hold off. Oh,
now a ball hit over the head of the center fielder again. Smith should score with ease. Here comes the throw in, and now trying to get back to second is Chelsea Robinson, who gets her she's doubled her extra base hit totals already in this game.
I think Bindi held her up at second, but I think Maddie may have dropped the ball, and she would probably easily have got to third then.
Yeah, I think Bindi, just watching Bindi there over the side, she's having a bit of a giggle and going, oh, well.
Yeah.
Well, the bats were in question, and they've come alive now. It's 2 doubles for Robinson, 2 doubles for Smith, 2 hits for Bailey Lux. That middle of the lineup is eating tonight.
Yeah, done very well, and some good pieces of the ball too, not just, you know, popping it over. They've been very, very good pieces of the ball.
They're not even hits that they're hitting them up high. They're actually hitting quite flat and hard, which is a smart play out there, and that's their runners around the bases. They've got plenty of speed. So
still just 1 out on the board as Georgia Mason comes to the plate. Well, we got to start thinking about who our Sparm's player of the game is, and it's kind of hard when you look at a single and a triple and a walk from Lux. For me, it's probably Lux, to be honest, because she's caught a great game for Coddle, finding more in form. She's got 2 hits. As Mason puts a charge into this one, and it's caught up by Emma Burridge.
That one just punched up a bit high and held up in the wind nicely for Burridge. Holds the runner at 2. They're getting through the lineup a bit too with all these hits. They've, was that 3rd or probably 3rd time at bat, but then they may even get a 4th time coming up. So it's pretty handy.
Haley Mayer up to bat. Roberts will follow. I mean, a couple hits in a row here, and all of a sudden Walkerville put themselves in close to mercy rule territory. It is 7 runs after 5, but 10 after 4.
And both Haley Mayer and Sophie Roberts and a runner out on 2 and Chelsea Robinson all capable of getting pieces of the ball.
Regardless, it's going to be a 3-out warning after this for Taylor Coddle.
She's got 3 outs to get 2. Otherwise, if she gets one, she ends up on her 199, then I said.
What if she strikes out the side to end the game and hit 200?
Bang.
Impressive stuff from Walkerville today, who needed some bats to awaken. And now the Mercy Rule run comes to the plate in Sophie Roberts.
Yes, again, good patience there in the box from Haley. Gets herself up to first. Sophie Roberts, that nice piece of the ball last time at bat. That would be in her head again. Just connections needed, 2 out.
Yeah, she just
relax.
met the ball last time. That's all she needs to do this time again.
Interesting to see where... she's going a bit more to the side this time at shortstop, so we've closed the gap up a little.
That would also be because the runners are at 1 at 2 as well, but yes, that the hole's not quite as big as it was the last time that Sophie came up to bat.
West Torrens haven't lost in 2020, or they've lost once, sorry. No, they haven't lost in 2025. They're on the verge of that right now. 4-game winning streak isn't looking like it's going to be pushed to 5.
Nice throw there from Amber. Trying to get the pick off at 1.
Not far off it either.
No.
Well, this pops straight up once again.
It's in the barbecue.
No new innings, by the way. Hits in 8 minutes from now, so we will get a 5th. But West Torrens will only have one more chance to bat. That is basically a guarantee.
Yeah, so it's countdown time for Taylor when she gets out there.
And a good pitch there from Talia.
I've talked a bit about the pitches and that sort of stuff and some of the catches we've had. And you spoke earlier about the benefit of having Amber in behind the plate here for Sutton pitching. I don't know if it's possible because she's been very good for a long time, but I think Amber's gone to another level in her catching again this year. Her throws seem to be, I don't know what she's working on her arms, but they seem to be hitting, throwing harder. They're on the spot a hell of a lot of the time. I think she's actually not getting a lot past her either, and she's helping these young kids at the same time. So, again, leadership from behind the plate, but I think her catching's gone to another level again.
Obviously, she, Steph puts the ball in amazing, speed and spin. So Talia is still learning her craft. So it's she obviously had to readjust her thinking of what to call. Where Talia has different strengths to Steph. So yeah, it's the mark of a very good catcher who can adapt.
Yeah. And she's been good for a long time.
Oh, absolutely.
She's been a fairly staple person in there for West Torrens for a very long time now, but
she's had a sister who can throw a few balls too, so I'm sure they've been playing catch all through their life. So yeah,
I'm pretty certain the backyard softball games were played pretty hard too.
Yeah.
Well, if Steph Gall clears them right here, this ball game comes to an end. This is the 9th batter that has come to the plate here in another 3-run inning. They've scored 3 in the 3rd and 3 in the 4th. Very balanced attack. In this particular inning, a big shot from Chelsea Robinson and a big shot from Ellie Smith has been the big difference so far. Ellie Lux has been certainly a fire starter. She's got a single and a triple and a walk on the afternoon. 2 doubles from Chelsea Robinson. Ellie Smith with 2 doubles as well. And Taylor Coddle has 8 strikeouts in her 4 innings of work.
A big moment here for Sutton in the middle. She's got the 2 out. She's got the hard work done. She just needs to get the batter in the box. Loaded bases behind her. I've just heard, as we spoke before about Amber, she's just really screaming at everything. Come on, focus. You can do this type thing. Some really good chat from behind. This is a moment that could be, a game that's got away from you a little bit, but a moment to take away from it if you can hold the batter.
Ground ball up the middle. Blocked down. The throw to first. She makes the play and gets out of the inning. We'll have time for one more, but it is a 7-0 lead for Walkerville.
Little jittery with the fielding. She took a couple of grabs at it, but she focused on the throw and made sure she had her time to get what she'd got done. And yeah, good confidence, little booster for her. Although the game got away from her a little bit in that innings, she'll take that into the next game she plays for sure.
So at the moment, who is your Sparms player of the game? There's probably a few nominees. Anyone jumping off the page for either of you two right now?
From my end, I think Lux has had a good night with the stick. She's obviously been good in behind the plate, but she's got a pitcher that's putting him where she's calling it, which helps.
Yeah, Coddle's allowed 1 hit and 9 strikeouts so far in her game.
I'm going to be a little bit biased, so I'm going to go for the pitcher.
Yeah.
And you know, if you can get those 2 extra strikeouts this innings, well, you know, hard to go past, I think, for me personally anyway.
Well,
but I will leave it for you guys to decide.
Just the pitcher's job, isn't it, to get the strikeouts?
So you're saying I'm the tiebreaker?
You are the tiebreaker, I think.
Well, what if we interview them both after the game?
Well, if there's 200, I think we have to chat to Taylor.
Absolutely.
Regardless of if she's player of the match or not.
Who was the last pitcher to hit the 200 strikeout?
I've been trying to rack my brain over that, and I can't think of anyone who's ever come close.
Well, you play more than you've ever played before now, surely. So,
because Steph would have been tracking for a few of them, but she hasn't played the full season in the last couple too.
Yeah.
No, and the thing they've been able to do with Steph is they've been able to utilise her and manage her through a season, because they've had, you know, been up in the top 2 and 3, and they've been able to actually manage her through the season without burning her out.
Yeah.
Taylor's
done it all.
Done it everything. Like, she has set out a game or 2 or an innings or 2, but generally she doesn't like sitting on the pine.
No, absolutely not.
Well, she's sitting on 197 strikeouts. She needs or 198 strikeouts. Sorry, 198 strikeouts. She needs 2 strikeouts to hit the 200 mark tonight.
Good pitch there from Taylor. Off-pace pitch then. Hit the end of the bat. Spun away.
Part of the lineup she's coming up to 5, 6, 7s.
This is 5, 6, 7 in Hoyle, Benedictson, and Holt.
So the 2 kids are going to come up next. When I say kids, younger than the others.
Oof.
Still has some velo. That rides right up inside.
Sophie said, what was that for?
Yeah,
what did I do wrong?
Yeah.
I'm sorry for anything I've done. Don't do that again.
Nice turn.
If you actually see where that ball was taken, it was directly behind her.
Yeah.
So
1 ball and 1 strike. Popped up. Foul. 2 strikes.
this is where they need a big LED board with 200 written on it and a countdown for her. Put a little bit of pressure on her.
So nobody else would know. Like, if you're listening on Spacepack right now, watching.
Send a message to her somehow.
Yeah.
She got her smartwatch on. I know you're not allowed to, but. She's actually not someone, having spoken to her a couple of times, she's not someone that really focuses on stats, which is a weird thing given she gets such good ones. But yeah, you talk to her after games and that, and she's, oh, did I? Type thing. It's just like, just rolls off, that's what I did type thing.
Just let it happen.
Good sales point for any softball pitching coaching clinics that she might run to.
Oh,
Just missed. It's a full count.
that was close.
No pressure, Toby.
3 balls and 2 strikes. This one narrowly missing.
Yeah, there it is again.
Yeah, just that little.
Yeah, she knows what she wants to throw in this situation.
Does the catch have a signal of just throw what you want?
I wouldn't have thought so.
It's coming too fast at her.
Oh.
Sophie Hoyle not making it easy, stays alive.
So you haven't said much, Eric, but where are your thoughts around player of the match? You're splitting the middle here at the moment.
I know, I'm the tiebreaker. Should I throw in a third option and
say,
Chelsea Robinson as an option?
Why don't you just interview all of the Walkerville
Yeah,
team?
just one by one. I mean, Robinson's got 2 doubles. This one in the air. Will it be playable? Oh, a great diving effort from Lux behind home plate.
I think she just may have said sorry to Georgia Mason there, who was coming in.
Just love, look at that, absolutely going for it. Getting dirty. Oh.
Keeps the strikeout hope alive, though.
There was one person whose eyes were shut that entire time, and it's Bindi Stansfield over at first going, I don't want two of them knocking themselves out here.
No, definitely not. Oh, yeah.
199.
Wow.
Strikeout number 10 on the day. That's her 54th strikeout looking on the season.
Yeah. With that count, that was close enough. Really, Sophie should have been swinging for that one.
She knew it.
She knew it too, that's right.
Well, she's got 2 outs in her pocket here in the 5th inning. Taylor Coddle with another double-digit strikeout performance. She struck out the side twice today. They struck out 3 in a row, and she's allowed just a single. That single came to Izzy Benedictson, and it was just a ball that was hammered into the ground and didn't make it halfway up the line.
And she, if I remember correctly, it was about nearly a 10-pitch at bat that one. She fouled plenty off.
1 strike on Benedictson. Fouled away, but she is 1 strike away from hitting the 200 milestone on the season. It has been a year we will talk about for a long time. The Taylor Coddle season.
Surely producer Brandon's got a 200 graphic getting ready to go there. Oh, he shakes the head. Discount on this one.
200 strikeouts for Taylor Coddle.
That is absolutely amazing.
11 strikeouts in the game, 200 on the season. It's a one-hitter right now. Walkerville have scored 7, but they've only needed 1. And Taylor Coddle continues her dominating season.
And she looks just as good as the first batter. As the last batter.
Grounded over on the backhand pickup from Chelsea Robinson to end the ball game.
Wow. Nice pickup from Chelsea there at shortstop.
Just saying, hey, let me do some work too.
Give me the last play.
And Walkerville are back in the win column and have stayed 2 points clear of Seacombe.
Not bad when you wait all game to field a ball and then you do it backhand and get the throw over on the dime. Perfect piece of play, you know.
Yep.
That was just a clinical performance again by Walkerville. Not really anywhere in that game tonight where it appears that they had a failure at any point at all. They did what they had to do. They probably made a couple of errors with a bit of running at times or maybe calls, but you know, when you win 7-0, doesn't really matter.
Well, we're going to go down on the field and we're going to talk with Taylor Coddle. I think you have to, and she's just racked up 200 strikeouts. I'm not too sure when the last person was that did it, but it's been a little bit of time. I'll go down and grab her right now. Keep chatting amongst yourselves.
What'd you take out of that, Colin?
Oh, I'm just absolutely in awe. Honestly, I'm sorry. Just
got a speechless
girl
picture
crush here.
here.
Absolutely. I think that's absolutely an awesome performance from Taylor there. Just shows you what good, you know, she's sort of put the work in. You know, you can obviously see over her career, she's put the work in, and to get the results like that, and to come down to Australia all that way and put on a performance like she has this season is absolutely a commend to her. Yeah,
absolutely. She absolutely dominated the pitching in the middle. She has done for all of the season, and we're about to hear from her shortly. They're just getting themselves into position. West Torrens did their best. They swung the bats hard. They threw the bat. They weren't going down defensively. They had a crack at it, and we've now got Eric with Taylor.
Of the game. Taylor Coddle, you just hit 200 strikeouts on the season. It's a milestone that hasn't been achieved in this competition in quite some time. I don't know if you were aware of that or not, but is that a pretty cool number to hear at least?
Yeah, 200's really cool to hear, and I don't really keep track of my stats, but I keep getting told them, so it's pretty cool to hit 200, so yeah, very cool.
Well, tonight, 11 strikeouts, 1 hit allowed during the game. It was just an infield hit as well. What, above all else, do you think was working the best for you today on the circle?
Yeah, I think Bailey and I had a pretty good game plan coming against these batters. We talked a lot yesterday at our training about how we were going to attack them, and I think we executed it really well, and that showed today.
So this is only game number 7 for Bailey so far on the season. So what does that look like in terms of having to develop chemistry with another catcher, given that you had to do that when you first got to this competition in general?
Right. I was lucky enough to be able to pitch to Bailey at each trainings, and then her and I have been hanging out outside of trainings too, so the chemistry was being built there. But it was a lot of communication and a lot of talking of what I like in a catcher, what she likes when I'm talking. So it was very open communication between the two of us.
One of the big talking points before the game was the lack of run production lately from the Walkerville Cats. But today, a few players popped off with some big games. What can this do for a team heading into a final situation after a game like this?
Right. It's really cool to see our offense kind of come alive tonight. I mean, we hit before every game, and we do everything that we need to do to get better. So it's really cool to see them have my back and to start producing some numbers in the runs. So, yeah.
Well, 200 strikeouts now in the season for Taylor Coddle. She is our Sparms player of the game. That's 60 more strikeouts than the next closest team combined. It's a dominating season and a big win. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you so much.
Back to you.
There it was, Taylor Coddle, 200 strikeouts for the season, the Sparms player of the game. The girl crush, the pitcher crush, whatever you want to call it. Kylie, have you got any words yet?
Oh, no, I'm just absolutely in awe. And, you know, she's still got more softball to play, for even the regular season, let alone finals.
Yep.
So who knows where she'll get to.
And she spoke a lot there. She liked the fact that she said the batters in the offense starting to actually get the bat on the ball, getting the base runners out there, getting the runs across the home plate makes it easier for her as a pitcher.
Yeah.
But I also think this year it's been that for a few of the teams with the pitchers is Walkerville, for instance, is a team this year that's been able to go out and positively bat and be offensive because they've got such a strong pitcher in the middle. That's a much easier time to be in the batter's box when you've got runs on the board and a lead than when you're chasing.
Absolutely. Yep, exactly right.
And a game that I think that there was a few questions of this Cats team, even though they were in second place, and they have answered some of them to at least have that big victory heading into the finals. Well, Kylie, Pete, thanks so much for joining me on this Wednesday afternoon. Seacombe have punched their ticket in the finals. Walkerville still fighting for that top 2 spot. West Torrens, well, they're not exactly clinched yet. There's still a couple possible scenarios that they miss altogether. They play next on Saturday, so don't forget to tune into all the coverage on Spacequake on a Super Saturday of games this coming weekend.
No worries. Thanks for having me here.
Well, on behalf of producer Brandon, Pete Williams, and Kylie Weatherstone, and everybody tuning in from wherever you're watching, thanks for joining us. We'll catch you on Saturday.